So there's a ruler there, and I made a small indicator there, so I know how far to move it. It should be like this, and then I can do part 2, and then I'll explain why this might not work at all. So this is a plotted coil for a ribbon. So this is the transition. You can see quite clearly that the second one, well, I'm not sure if it's quite clearly, but here, this one is slightly smaller. I think that's due to the pen drying out, so it doesn't make a fat line as it should be. On the other hand, if you look at, for instance, here, it's hard to see, but there is some wear occurring in the tip of the pen. Here, the tip is smaller than here, so the piece of exposed aluminium in between the black lines is in the second version is smaller than in the first one. So a pen is rather unpredictable. First off, the tip wears. Secondly, the ink dries out, so the tip dries out. So, and it's not like one is fixing the other, that's the biggest problem. So if the tip gets wider, your line gets wider, and it's not gonna correspond to the thing you made. Then again, after a while, the ink the tip dries out, then the line becomes smaller once more. Completely random, as seen in the transition on the second try. And then the question is how well it resists etching. I know it will resist etching, but yeah. So, oh yeah, also speed. So if you increase the speed, the line becomes smaller because there is less time ink can seep out of the tip. So there are 3 variables that will dictate how your coil looks, which is not ideal. Or not ideal, it's far from ideal. And then after that one, there's another variable, and that's etching time. Etching time, and also how strong is your acid. So that's 5. I don't think that's the method to go by. So I did like plot cutting more because it's quite consistent. I mean, it fails every now and then, but at least if all the cuts went well, it's the same as the last one. Problem is, I don't have a cutting mat that is this large. So I got one that is 90, and I could do the same trick with moving over the table, for instance, 35 centimeters, and just do the rest. So that's an option, that's good to know. The only problem is now I don't have a cutting mat of 120 or 110. And the thing is that cutting mats are affordable up till 90. So mine was like 35 euros. And then after, you have to go to art stores and such. And they become like within 120 and 350 euros. That's quite insane if you ask me. Then people said, well, why don't you like put a few behind one after another? That is a possibility, but when cutting, it's not ideal. It doesn't make a really nice cut. So this nice try, I made a new pen holder, which can be used for other purposes as well, but for this it's not gonna work, I think. I mean, I probably can etch these, but I already see that they might be different. So if I make a few more, it's gonna be considerably different than the first one, which is, consistency would be nice. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, you know, completely random. So yeah. Hey, boys. Oh. Puss wants something to eat, but she has something to eat. So next option is going back to the laser, which has some problems. I think I screwed up my laser, that's one. It still works, but it's not as intense as it should be, I think. Might have kind of fried it a little bit. And secondly, it doesn't stop and start anymore, and I'm not sure why. I didn't change anything, or at least I used the same settings in my Mac 3, but it doesn't want to start and stop while I'll give the command to do so, or the intention. You can adjust the intention of the laser by Mac 3, and it worked for like a day or two. So it might be because I fucked up the laser, I don't know, or the driver. Driver seems to be okay, so I don't know why it's not working anymore. Tried everything, but the nice thing is that you only have to laser the thing you don't need, which is less than doing it in this way. And as well, I don't need this huge gap between the coil. If it can be smaller, that would be great. Laser time. Well, here goes nothing. Let's close the door. For a moment at least, because otherwise Puss might be entering my shed and gets blinded. That would not be nice for Puss and me. Here goes nothing. You can see the laser dies quite slowly. Not sure why that is. I think because it moves upwards and it leaves the laser on. I forgot what enabling spindle is. It's M3, I think. So might need to add a pause there before it moves, so it doesn't like wreck my design. So let's smelly. Normal people have like something like an air filter thingy, but I don't. Open the door a little bit. Let's move this. This, and let's do the rest. Open up part 2, and let's start. And I think it can move much faster than this, because when it made a rapid, I still saw smoke. So it is kind of cutting it. Let's get rid of the glasses and see what we actually have. So it kind of did burn it, I think, but so if you clean it, some paint chips off, which is not good, but Ooh, didn't adhere the paint all that well at all. That's looking terrible, but I know that's more of a cleaning thing than anything else. I know that's my mistake. Wow, that didn't adhere at all. But it is a line, a bit jittery. From here it looks cleaner. This one is really fucked up. There's some spots that are wrinkly, and I think it's the foil underneath that is wrinkling. So what would be better is make this. Here's a good thing, or here you can see it. So there, this is where the laser disables, but there's still a quite obvious line. Well, the laser is powered like half. By the looks of it, it did clean it up completely, so I can increase the speed and get rid of those wrinkles it creates. And I should make a better paint job when doing this, because I rubbed it off here. So actually that one looks better, the cut this way. So I might increase height as well. It's weird. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna move it 1 millimeter upwards and say that's 0. As well as putting this back. There. Let's do it once more here. And we're gonna increase the speed. So here you can see it's the part 1 and part 2 when using a pen, so you can see where it is. Here you can see where the laser was not off when it changed position, and here it did turn off. And the latest one is this one, which looks quite okay-ish. And this is the part that was really slow, and this is where it changes over and I increase the speed. And it looks good as well, I think. So, yeah. 4.5 meters a minute is also okay. That's good. So I started off really slow, but it annihilated the mylar underneath. It became wrinkly. So this part, this is cleaned. Looks a bit sharper. And here I increased it even more and it looks even more sharp, I think. But of course I didn't etch it right now, so not sure what the end result will be, but if I could get 0.2 millimeters in between traces, that would be rather awesome. Although this looks much bigger. Matter of fact, it has, oh, I know why this is. So here it started the laser already, and then it moved to here where it should be cutting. So I need to fix that in the G-code, that it doesn't start the laser when it has to make this rapid. The first rapid. After that it's doing the correct thing, but the first rapid, it enables the laser and just fucks it up. So that's what I'm gonna fix, hopefully. So in part 2, it doesn't enable the laser until it drops. Not before. So boring, but... So I changed... The M3 command enables the spindle. And the first command I saw was M3 1000. That means 1000 RPM. Which in this case is... Because I set 1000 is maximum. Laser is going maximum. Although I cannot seem to control that anymore anyways, but at least it turns on. Now the thing is, well, normally when you use it as a drill, it would be nice if the spindle is already turned on before you enter the material. In this case, it would be nice if it's not turned on before it moves to another place. Because it's gonna scratch up or laser everything that I don't need to. So I changed the M3 command after it is positioned at the spot I want it to be, and then enable the laser, and not enable the laser and then move towards the point it wants to start. Hopefully it works. I'm not sure. I'm not a G-code expert. Not expert in anything. Well, at least there's progress. So there we go. And I have to pee as well. Like badly. So, that's done. Let's move this baby over. This still looks okay-ish, I think. Maybe 5 meters a minute. I said second, I think, last time, but it's minute. Might be a tad too much. Anyhow, now the question is it gonna like enable the laser and fuck up the whole thing or not? Since I changed the M3 codes. So let's see. Let's start it. And yeah, there we go. No laser, that's good, but now... Yeah. So that works. Get rid of my glasses. See how we did. I think we did well. And I did this at 5,000, so 5 meters a minute. And this one at 4,500. And by the looks of it, the first part looks a little bit neater than the second part, so... Maybe, just maybe, 5 meters is better. Which would be nice because it's faster, of course. So I got some material left, so I probably will finish this off. Because why not? I mean... It's a waste otherwise. I could do maybe like a tiny Neo 10 as well. See what it does. I mean, I could, you know, do a lot of Neo 10s, the ones I make, not the BNG, in one go if this works. Yeah, cool. So I'll, yeah, next video will be etching one of these and see if it actually works, because that's still a thing. It's really nice that it does seem to line up. So that's the pen one. You can see a difference. And this is the laser ones, and I don't see any difference. I mean, it lines up. See ya.